yes. Billboard box.
Thank you for running, first of all.
Can you please turn that off? It's giving me... No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you for running, first of all. And
Thanks.
also, I was wondering, I don't see your teleprompter. I just wanted to...
Yeah, if you would talk to my daughter, she should say I should use one. Sometimes I guess I can go on a little long because I'm not quite tightly scripted, but I think you can see, and I had the pleasure of being at the editorial board in the Ames Tribune today. What a joy that was! It's on the webcam. You'll get a kick out of it. But you know, I'm passionate about a lot of things, and we got into a lot of issues. Everything from Iran to the budget deficit to moral and cultural issues, and you know, a lot of folks, Elizabeth, before I get up, she goes, Rick. She goes, Dad. She didn't say Rick. She goes, Dad, make them laugh. I said, don't be so serious. You know, because I'm sort of a passionate guy. I got 7 kids and I love them. And I want this country to be a great country for them to grow up. And if we don't, I really believe this, if we don't win this election, America as we know it will be no more. I talk about this when I give my quote stump speech, which I've spared you folks tonight. I talk about how this country is at a critical juncture. And someone shared this quote with me about a month or so ago about Winston Churchill saying that the debate is not about the future. The debate is about the past. People ask why we're so divided in this country. Because Churchill was right. The debate's about the past. If you look at how Barack Obama sees the past in America, look at his speech the other day in Kansas. America is flawed at its foundation, in his opinion. It is fundamentally unfair. If you look at the #1 visitor to the White House in the first 2 years of the administration, a guy named Andrew Stern, he wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal the other day and said that capitalism is a failure. It doesn't work. It's unfair. And that we need socialism, even communism, as the future. I know people don't like to call Barack Obama a socialist, but they said that, John, not me. But I'll say it. Listen to his speech. Listen to what Barack Obama said less than a year ago after the Ryan budget came out. He talked about Medicare and unemployment insurance and welfare and Social Security. He said this. He said, America is a better country because of these programs. He says, I'll go one step further. America was not a great country until these programs. This is how Barack Obama sees America. America is not a great country because government takes money from some and gives it to others according to who the government believes is most owed it or deserves it. That makes America like every other country in the world. What makes us different is we don't do very much of that. What makes us different is that we are not top down, but we are bottom up. Barack Obama sees America as a flawed and broken experiment that must be radically transformed so we can look like, well, France. That's his vision for America, as is his foreign policy. It's the same. It's European socialist foreign policy, which is multilateral, which is apologizing for the past sins of Western civilization, as he's been doing around the world, which is betraying our closest allies. Imagine the President of the United States, after 30 to 40 years of the French being against us on every foreign policy initiative that we have put forward in the world. What country in Europe has been most against what we have tried to do and thwarted us at every step? But the French. Who has helped us more than any in Europe? The Brits. So what does the President do? He sends back the bust of Churchill, insults both the Queen and the Prime Minister with stupid gifts, and then goes to France and says this in front of Nicolas Sarkozy. Calls France our best ally in the world. Well, France is the best ally in the world because in his mind, they were right in opposing America for all those years. That is the president of this country. Because he sees America's past as broken. I don't. I think the narrative that we have to talk about, and we do need a presidential candidate who can tell a narrative. Because we're not going to bring America together if America is separated on where we're starting. If Americans believe that we are fundamentally a broken country, then we're not going to end up with a solution that's going to come together at some point. If the other group of Americans believe that we are truly an exceptional nation, and that we are the country that transformed the world, and that we built a great and healthy country and society, and we transformed the world based upon the concept of free people and free markets and limited government, and that it worked. If you believe that narrative, America, of a country that is basically a moral enterprise, as our founders stated in the Declaration of Independence, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. If you believe that, and if you believe our Constitution was drafted to protect those rights, so that people could be free, and markets could be free, and people could pursue their dreams, and fundamentally transform the entire economy of the world, then it's hard to come together with people who want to see a fundamentally different America than the one that builds on that success. That's why this election is the most important election. Because right now there's a narrative going on out there. The president is leading this narrative. It's the most divisive one I've ever heard from a president. Pitting those that have against those that don't have. The 99 and the 1. It's a good deal, right? Divide America. Make sure you have at least 50% on your side and keep dividing. That's what the president's strategy is. Divide and conquer. We need a president who's going to unite around a common vision of what America is. I will fight for that. I'm the son of an immigrant. I announced my campaign 20 miles down the road from where my grandfather worked in a coal mine till he was 72 years old. Where he brought my dad at the age of 7 in 1930. Came here legally. He worked 5 years alone with his family back home because, well, that was the rules. Until he got his citizenship and brought them over. And he worked and he clawed with his bare hands freedom for me. And I'm in this race because I'm not going to be the generation that loses that freedom. And I don't think you want to be part of that either. That's why I need your help. Another question? If we have time. I don't know how we have time.
Why aren't taking on the media, especially Mr. King and CNN, why aren't they addressing the president about when they take, the Democrats are talking about Medicare, Social Security, and Republicans are trying to attack that. But yet Obamacare is taking $500 billion out of Medicare, supposedly to pay for Obamacare, and now they're trying to take money out of the Social Security system, which already has a bunch of money in the old lockbox that we borrowed from general fund. Why isn't this hypocrisy being pointed out? That you can't, I just don't understand why the news media, like CNN, aren't taking on the Democrats about this total hypocrisy.
Well, I said this at the debate the other night, that, and that's why I don't support the extension or the payroll tax cut. I never did. The Democrats can't have it both ways. Obama can't have it both ways. You can't go out and run murderous campaign commercials against Republicans wanting to kill Social Security and make it unstable, and then go through the process of undermining Social Security by taking money that's used to pay benefits out of the program. It's either a trust fund program that we have to secure and stabilize, or it's not. And they're treating it like now, because of the political advantage of saying we want to cut taxes for lower income people, they're treating it as it's not a trust fund program, when it's convenient. And I guarantee at the next election, they'll be talking about how Republicans want to destroy Social Security, right? Well, they're in the process of, well, destroying Social Security. So, you can't have it both ways. In my opinion, we need to have a Social Security system that is funded with the payroll tax as it exists, and we have to tailor benefits to meet those taxes. And that's going to take some work. It's not big changes, but there will be changes to Social Security, and And we need to tell the truth to the American public that that's going to have to happen. The same thing with Medicare. In Medicare, you're right. They put a cap on Medicare. How much money are we going to spend on Medicare this year? Anybody know? You're absolutely right. You all got the right answer. Nobody knows. Why don't we know? Because there's no cap on Medicare.